All right, good morning. You guys hear me in YouTube land? Thank you, Gabriel. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Where is my... Hold on here.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in most Apple Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers farmers without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account below is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may amount or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results and all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. The analysis themselves, I share trades and potential trades that I'm taking for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach trades how to identify specific areas to trade financially themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky. You decide to follow my personal trades, you sort your own risk, and you potentially lose your entire account and even more. And that I was profitable and have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values that allow me to pinpoint exact prices for my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices to enter trades, whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use mine to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade, as it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which one you personally decide to trade. All right, good morning. So, NQ is about to rip. It's already ripped. So I was commenting to my trade room. I was actually short for a bit, but I trailed my stop. We'll go over that here in a second. But pre-market, I think it's the most bias I've ever seen come in the market before the open. Hold on here. So you had globs of bias that came in first, then that came in. Put those two together. This came in. This was 1,000 alone. That was this. And I commented in my room. We did one of these. Actually, we caught. We have two different types of trades we're trading in my room: position trading, which are going for the bigger moves, and then the ATR reversion trade. Anyway, this at the one ATR was an A plus, where the entry. You see that dotted line is in the prior event. Caught that. Actually went short off of that because there's a couple of reasons when these events, these Bookmap member webinars are more basic because I know there's newer traders, so I'm sorry if I go over the same stuff, but when an event proves bearish, I decide that from watching so many of these in my last 7 years of using this, if the market's able to push an ATR out of the zone, either way, that's how I determine if the area is bullish or bearish. So I have certain strategies, aka areas where I look for these events to put my trades on. So anyway, this did move an ATR. This retested. This is the pattern for the bark and lick trade, and you heard that more ice coming in. I think the thesis here is this market is going to absolutely rip. So I know it's already ripped, but I think it's just starting. So anyway, I did put on a short per my rules. I based on the structure, and we'll go over that here in a second, I'm bullish, but you know, if the events, the real time, what's happening right now, it tells me to go short. I go short, so I went short. I could have got out of one here. I just missed the area. Actually, someone in my trade room pointed out we were into an ISI zone. I'll show you that as well. I should have been out of one here, didn't, but I did trail my stop to this guy, and I did a rare stop out in the middle of this zone because it was basically into the number. You know, again, I made a comment in my room. I wonder if all this bias knew what the number was going to be, and lo and behold, here we are. Anyway, I usually will move. So the yellow line is this was in my zone jar as well. I'll put that in the room in a second. Access to this, but this is the stop out for the short based on that event, right? So I usually will move it out of there. I didn't feel like moving it 40 plus points out of that zone into the number, especially when it did that. I just bit the bullet and stopped out here. So it was a small loser, like a half-hour loser on to the next trade. But overall, this stuff, you know, someone just keeps putting a bias here, and so that is telling me obviously bullish. You know, the ice isn't always right, but when it keeps coming in, he'll keep calling me. Ferris Bueller. When it keeps coming in, they're just going to keep putting it in until the market relents and then goes higher. So that's what looks like is happening now. But from a structure standpoint, we got some activity in gold too. Looks like that's going to rip off the page as well. Anyway, we had this balance area moved out yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which this was. It held where it should have held, bounced, gapped up the next day. So yeah, this was 2 days ago. Then yesterday, it actually violated this high volume node. Well, when that happens, that is called a fail breakout, right? So it got through there. This thing should have gotten smushed, especially in this market environment. Instead, it held, came back. I would make this a balance area as well, so we're right here. But overall, if something doesn't happen that should happen based on normal market movement, then the subsequent move is multiples. So I'm already thinking that's going to happen. Again, these are just thesis guess. It doesn't mean I just throw on longs because I think that. I wait for my volume events. As you saw, I was short to start the day. But like for instance, with this thesis that I have, especially if it gets through this, and I can play a couple different strategies here, we'll go over them. This is going to be a failed balance breakdown of that guy, especially off of this event right here. So I will trade double size longs now based on my thesis, right? So I trade both ways. Again, I am a day trader. I try to keep my opinion out of it. My opinion is, right probably less than 50% of the time. I don't trade off opinions. I trade off of what I see in the market. So anyway, what I was saying is that we have all this bias pre-market, and now you have this bias now. So there's a couple different strategies I'm going to take here. One, I'm going to take, if this just moves straight out of the zone, I'm going to take an aggressive entry, fail balance breakout. We just showed you that. So that would be the entry there where I don't wait for the retest of the zone. I'll get over to gold here in a second. Let's make sure this is... All right. What's going on in here? What is going on in here? All right, you had sell ice and then 2 stop runs here. So we'll head over there in a second. I just want to get this order in. So I'm going to take a fail balance breakout, which is this strategy here. So these are my trading strategies. So these are the areas or structure stuff that I look for to put on these trades. So anyway, this is the first trade I'm going to put on, fail balance breakout. We just went over that. Fail break of longer term balance on the hourly chart, which the market travels back through the balance area, high volume node. That's this. I better hurry because these markets are ripping around. ATR is 54 points now in NASDAQ. Anyway, that would be that guy. It's still kind of right there, but I'm willing to skirt it and take this FBB because I just think this thing is going to literally rip back to this stuff now based on what I'm seeing. Again, I don't know. What I do know is how to trade these volume events properly. So anyway, I'm going to go long, aggressive, meaning first move out of the zone at 18.329.25. You notice I just said how bullish I am. I'm not just jumping in along here, right? For these position trading strategies, for the most of the strategies that we have, I wait for the confirmation. I understand that erodes edge, right? So it's like I'm literally waiting for 60 points out of this area to put this trade on. I have just learned, I used to get in, like right when I would see the ice, I'm like, oh, buy ice, I'm going to jump in. And I learned the hard way not to do that. And then I used to get in and it would do something like this, or wait, I'd see that buy ice and wait for here. And then when I come back to the zone, I jump in there. I learned not to do that. So the best way to trade these is to wait for it to push an ATR. That's the current ATR, right there. Just outside of an ATR, that's where I enter the trade. I'm fine giving up that amount of points because it is a much more secure trade by waiting for that. I tell my room all the time, the better you get at these, if you find patterns and you think you want to just jump in right at the zone, be my guest. This is all from experience. It's not just me. I don't like having to risk or wait another 60 points to get in this trade. It's just from trading so many thousands of these things, it's the best entry. So let me stop talking and put this in. So the FBB is 87. And I'm going to trade double size. So this is the great thing about the zone drawer. It takes the volatility, aka the 5-minute ATR, into account, the size of the zone. So based on my risk parameters, I'm risking 10% of these Apex accounts, and we'll go over all this stuff as the webinar goes on. I'm risking $500 on a trade. So meaning for the amount of risk, how volatile it is right now, all I can put on is 2 micros, right? And that's risking $500. I'm going to put on 4 because I'm very bullish short term. So based on my thesis that we just talked about. And that's how I do it, right? I just don't jump in trades because I have a thesis. If I get a volume event that's in that direction, then I will trade bigger size, aka an A plus trade. Where I learned that from was SMB trading. So when I got back in the business in 2000, I think it was 2018, 17, 18, I was just going to trade stocks. I was so jaded by trading futures because I was a multi-million-dollar trader in ES scalping, and then it all went away and I couldn't make $1. So I had to literally leave the business because I couldn't make money anymore. And then I was introduced to Bookmap by Dr. Brett Steenbarger. I was introduced to SMB as well. And he told me about this platform, Bookmap. And the minute I saw it, I'm like, I'm back. So then I started trading. But when I was going to be back, I did not want to trade futures because I was literally PTSD from making $15 million in 3 years and then not be able to make $1 overnight, right? So then obviously that catches up to you after a while as far as there's a lot of stuff going on as far as your spending habits, so on and so forth, because as a trader you always think, okay, this is just a drawdown, I'm going to make it back, and then it just never came back, and then I had to get out of the business. So anyway, back in the business 2017, and I was just going to trade stocks, but this is a long story they taught me, and they require of their traders, there's basically stock traders, when they see an A plus setup, aka when your thesis is in the direction, when you're getting, in my case, these events, real-time events, in the direction of my thesis, that's A plus, you need to trade bigger. So they ground their traders, SMB does, if they get their A plus setups and they don't trade bigger. So that's why I'm trading bigger. I learned that from them. Now my entry has moved down to 20. So you got to keep moving your entry. This is dynamically moving with the ATR, right? You see the
Stop
ATR.
filled.
The ATR is dropping a little bit. So now it's 2750 is my entry there. Let's see what's going on. We'll go over to gold here in a second. I'm going to trade double size there. Hold on, I'm going to put this on a couple different accounts. That's working. All right, about to get filled. The other trades I can put on, so I'm going to put on the FBB. I'm about to get filled. I think it filled on this account. All right, filled on that account too. All right, so that's on. So what the tendency now is, the market will usually come back, retest the zone, then go. I have a trade for that too. It's called the BARC, blind, ATR, retest, confirm. And the reason it's called blind is I will take that trade in any area. My other strategies are looking for volume events in important areas, like inflection zones, right? So these are these zones that I draw every day for my trade room. You can get access to this as well. We don't have anything here. I also look, I just want to take a look at this market profile composite real quick. Yeah, we're firmly in here. So this was telling you, so I come up with the thesis with the structure stuff and with the lugs. Actually, this was probably, I probably shouldn't have put this on into the lug, but these are the Ludwig levels. These are very, very powerful. This is a very powerful resistance area. I'm going to watch this very closely. I may just peel out of this for right now if it can't get through here. At least one of these guys. Very powerful area, especially when the market's basically moved straight to it. So we'll keep an eye on it. You know, it may play its games, bounce off of here. I'm still going to be bullish, but I would love to see it just rip through there. Speaking of which, let's get the tick strike going. And I'm going to share this with you guys here. This, I share it every week. This is everything I'm doing. So here's the drawing tool. You can access that. Here's my course. We'll go over all this stuff as the webinar goes on, but let me post this. So you can see you're buying all these stocks too, all the FANG stocks, or whatever they call them now, Mag 7 stocks. Just ripping. All right, so there's a reason, like I have certain strategies where I get in right away. I don't wait for the retest. This is very well still might retest this zone, but there's some of them where it's so important. These areas are so important. I just jump in right away at the ATR line. Again, very likely it comes back. So this is another thing. If you understand how these markets trade, if you understand the propensity for these markets to come back to this event, you're not panicking out. So if you got long here, if you're mirroring my trade, which you should not be, you should be learning how to do this on your own. That's why I have a trade room to teach that. But you're not panicking out of this trade. This is what is expected. That's what happens probably 80% of the time or more. You know, as far as it's not always a 1 ATR, but it'll go 2 and come back, or 3 and come back. Point is, it will come back to the zone at least 80% of the time. We have a trade for that called the ATR reversion. I already showed that earlier. But what I'm trying to get at is my stop for the way I trade. Again, from my experience in trading these, so many of these, the best way to trade these is to wait for the ATR to get in, ATR plus, and then put my stop over here. So for me to be wrong on this trade, this has got to come back the full ATR. It's got to get through the volume event, and it's got to push another ATR out of there, and then I say uncle on to the next trade, and that's what that risk. So if that does happen, then I'm gonna lose $500 on the trade. Big deal. On to the next trade. It's probabilities, right? So, you know, most traders will get in here and say, I like to risk 20 points when I put on my NASDAQ trades and try to make 60. Guys, especially with this vol, when the ATR is 56 and you want to risk 20 points, good luck. You're going just on random algo, and you see the algos just flipping on and off in here. You're going to lose probably every time you're risking 20 points in this. You might get lucky on one of them, but anyway, I don't let these algos algo me. I say, okay, if I'm going to be wrong, Mr. Algos, you got to push it all the way back down here. Then I say I'm wrong and on to the next trade. So that's why I do that. And again, it's from experience. So you can either take my advice from watching 5.2 million of these things. Oh, by the way, look at what's right here, liquidity. I wonder where this market's going. So I actually almost want this to come back. Why? So I could put on a bark and a lick, and that would be my target for the lick. So this is what's great about this. If you understand how these markets trade and you understand the propensity for these markets to come back to these zones, you're not panicking. So I actually want this to come back. So if I get an ATR retest confirmed, I could put on more longs. And you can bet your ass, pardon my language, that this is going to come back and tag that. You know, what I tell people all the time doesn't mean it has to happen right now. This could sell off 300 points, but I will bet you, if you want to bet a round of golf, if you want to bet a round of golf in Scottsdale, I will bet you, and it's real cheap right now because it's 115 degrees, I will bet you a round of golf that this is tagged by the end of the day. I might even I'll bet you a sleeve of balls that it's tagged actually in the next, before the end of the webinar. But it doesn't have to be. Again, it can do all that. The point is, this is just longer term liquidity in the book. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but relatively it's a lot. You see here at 5, 11, 15, 100. These are the big guys. Not Joe Biden big guy, the big players, right? So they will force the market into their orders. That's the game I used to play. That's how I know it happens, because I used to play the same game, manipulating the market, getting long, having my orders resting, and pushing the market right into my resting orders, and I'm out of the trade, right? So that's why everything I do is based on my experience as a large scalper back in the day. So again, you can take my word for it and learn from my 25 years experience, or you can figure it out on your own. either way, Bookmap is the key to everything in the SI indicator. It's the best edge I've ever seen in my 25 years of trading futures. So, all right, so I'm long. If it does retest confirm, I'm going to put on a couple other strategies. We just talked about bark and lick. So the bark, blind, ATR retest confirm. Any trade on a stop iceberg volume event that has an ATR retest confirm. It needs algo guy filter confirmation to put the trade on. What's algo guy? Algo guy is this. We just call it algo guy because it's an algo guy. That's why we call it that. So these are all algos. This is exponential moving average, but so many algos trade off of this. You can see, actually, the guy I learned this from, it was probably 6 years ago now. He was a member of my room. I mentored him, and he showed me this. And this is a pure example of like not thinking you know everything. I don't care if I have 100 years of trading experience. There's always something new you can learn. Doesn't mean I just throw stuff on into my trading, but he showed me he was trading with this and the way he would trade it. And it's been, if he's trading it today like this, it's working perfectly. But he came to me because he wanted to make it better with the SI events. But anyway, a lot of times the pattern is, first of all, this crossed. We actually have a trade for that, but it wasn't all the conditions met. I'm not going to get into that right now. But this cross down here. So a lot of times when this crosses, you get these algos that jump on the cross, right? So the blue is the longer or the shorter term exponential moving average ribbon. So these are just time periods all put together, so it makes it look like a ribbon. When it crosses, that's bullish. You get these algos that jump in, and how did that work out, right? You could have just blindly bought this cross and made 200 points. Anyway, the way he would trade it is he would wait for pullbacks into the red, and then when it got back above the blue, he would go long, and then he'd put his stop on the other side of the red, right? Nothing wrong with that, and it works all the time. Some days it's very choppy, but you can make it even better, like you can make any strategy better, anything you're doing better by using the real-time volume events. We actually have a trade for that called red rum. If it comes back into the red and moves back out, we take a long. Anyway, this is in the direction, this is bullish, so I can take barks and licks off of that event that I just showed you. So if it retest confirms, I'm going to take a bark and a lick. A lick is just a bark with the ultimate target, liquidity. Barks I will get out at other areas. We'll go over that once this thing starts motoring higher. But if I get the lick on, I'm going to get out at that level. If it breaks right through it, then I'll hold it. But if it struggles, I'll be out. Right, we got other stuff firing off here. Let's instead of watching the algos play games with everybody in NASDAQ, we'll go over here. Crude, I'm bullish as well. All these markets, I'm pretty bullish. Short term, I'm a day trader. You can see what happened here. I was long yesterday into the close, and it just was horrible. It was terrible watching it, and then I just scratched it basically. So anyway, you had balance break out of that. Then you had more balance here. Broke out. Hold on. Natural gas number is coming out. Then you have this. It's still in this balance, but that's about to break out, and I fully expect it to get back to this based on structure stuff. It's just a guess. It's just an opinion. But if I get volume events that are bullish, I'll trade double size. Actually, I'm going to delete this zone. So this is a good example. This was an important Izzy zone for a while, inflection zone. Back over here, right? You had a selling tail. You had directional conviction. We got something in S2. So guys, the stuff is really flying around here. So obviously, but anyway, I can delete this zone. I don't have to do it right now, but I would not be trading off this Izzy zone. I'm talking more to my room to get an event there. Alright, hold on here. So we'll keep an eye on this. Algo guy's bullish here too, looks like. In crude, so I can take barks and licks. I wouldn't take double size longs right here, but I'll take the long. I'm a day trader. If this turns out to be a bullish event, we'll come back here. Let's go over to ES because I know how much you guys love trading the ES. Actually, it's not been bad lately, right? This volatility has been awesome. It's a welcome from the last basically year of crappy trade, just grind up and sit at the highs. We finally got some decent trades. So enjoy this period. It always feels like it's going to be around forever, and then it goes away. Just like when the trade's bad, it feels like it's going to be around forever, and then it goes away. This last period was way longer than normal, but I expect this stuff to last the rest of the year, at least through the election. So hopefully I'm right and don't jinx it. Actually, there's a bunch of ice down here too. I probably could have drawn. So this is a good example of, so I have thresholds that I will draw, and that's what the zone drawer is set to, that I think is a trade worthy event, meaning amount of size, right? So you can see, and for icebergs it's 700, right? So 700 or more, I will draw the zone. I used to draw them manually before this awesome zone drawer for the Johan in my room developed this zone drawer for us. I would draw them manually. Well, you can see it didn't draw here because none of these individually. Right, hold on a second. We're probably already at this liquidity in Mr. Nasdaq. Surprise, surprise. Someone's going to owe me a sleeve of balls. Who made that bet that we're going to hit this liquidity? Anyway, this has not retested yet. So this is exactly why I have strategies where I don't wait for the retest and I just jump in because I may miss this rip, right? Hold on, I'm going to get out of one of these at the liquidity if it spikes up there so I don't miss it, because I always miss trades when I'm on the webinars. Hold on here. I got a couple accounts going here. So it may still come back. I don't care. As long as there's not a new event, I just let them play their games, and I have my areas I watch. Another area that I can piece out of this as it rips higher. Then I'll get over to the ES here. Red luck, of course. So I'm gonna get out of. I'm gonna watch this closely, see if this can rip through. This is why I was afraid to put on this. So I kind of already missed it. Let's see if we can get one more wave up here. So, if this snaps all the way back, this is where I usually get out. Again, I'm on the webinar and I missed this tag right there. Red lug, right? So I would have been on of at least one of these. I got 4 on. Let's see if we can get one more swipe up there. If this liquidity wasn't here, I'd be out some of these right now. I'm going to give this a chance. Come on, guys. Let's go. All right, so if this gets quiet and it starts selling, I'm getting out of some of these. I'm getting out of 2 right here. Hold on here. Let me get out of these because I can't monitor everything.
Order filled.
Okay. All right, that's that. Let me get out of a couple here. Hold on. Can't find the mouse, of course. That was. Did I put on the right trade there? I put it on the wrong account, but I still was long. All right, so I put it on the pick account. It was supposed to be, the pick strategy is supposed to be FAB. All right, so I got out 2. Now I'm going to watch this closely. I never got the lick on, but this is an area. If this can't get through here, then you see, there you go. Come on. So guys, I don't have to wait for an exact tag of this. If this starts to run away, I'm going to be out of another one. It's been a decent trade. It was aggressive. Hold on here.
Go to 21 BCF, or go to 21 BCF.
And you got some bias right here too. So this is the perfect scenario. Now, what I can do here, I'm still going to get out of one if it can't get through here. But now I can trail my long to this event. That's how I do it. My stop I'm talking about. So if this comes back, I'm not risking much now. And with a chance for this to rip off the page. And then I could take trades off of this guy. A new event. Most powerful thing you're ever going to see in futures trading, in my opinion. And I think that's why you're on the webinar, to get my opinion. Oh, what do we have up here? By the way, I want everybody on this webinar to send me a sleeve of balls when that gets tagged. I'm going to give this a second, right? If this ice didn't come in here, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get out. Again, I don't need to see the exact tag because a lot of times these algos pick up the size and they try to run it away, right? But I'm going to collect my sleeve of balls here. I'll give you guys my address at the end of the webinar. You can send them to me. Just kidding. I will always take free balls though, because they're ridiculously expensive, especially when you lose them in the desert like I do. All right, I'm giving this a chance, but it's kind of hesitating here. I'll give it another second, and I'm gonna get out of one more. Come on. Let's see how close that got. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a second, see if we can get back up here. Especially this stuff's still firing out. This is why I use this, guys. Like, and the other thing I want to be watching here is market pulse. Right, so we're going to see what this is interesting, right? So they're not. This is telling me this market pulse will go over this algo. It's called the volume pressure imbalance. This is telling me if this is the most buying or selling in an hour. If you see the tip fire off, I'm sure we can find some down here. If you see the tip colored, like this. This was the most buying in the last hour. You can see it was immediately rejected. What happened? Oh my, hold on here. Did I lose my iceberg? Okay, I thought I lost my icebergs there. I was immediately rejected at first, and it did sell, you know, these buyers were off sides about 50 points, and then it finally came back. So the stuff's fleeting. Still important though. So I should have got another one there. This is the game, right? It's like these algos. This is why there's icebergs in the market, because these algos, a-holes, pick up the size and they run the market away from it. If someone comes in and they want to buy right here, 364, if they put 364 orders in the order book trying to buy it, the thing would run off the page because they want whoever's putting this in to chase the order. That's why they have to hide their orders. Icebergs are just, they just have to show a certain percentage of their size. I think it's 10%, right? So in the order book, it'll look like a 36 lot, and as it trades into it, it triggers the rest, and right behind it is another 330, right? So this is exactly why they use icebergs, because these algos pick up what's in the order book and then they run it away. So I missed my opportunity. I should have been out of one there. That's why I was eyeballing it. I said I was going to give it a chance because of this iceberg. Regardless, I'm trailing my stop for this long here. I did get out of one, or I got out of two at the red lug. So it's not going to be that disastrous if it comes back. I got out of a couple here anyway, but I was going to get out of one more if it struggled to get through there, which it did. So anyway, my stops moved to 18,301, and then we'll see what strategies we could put on off of this guy, off of this most recent event. 18,301. All right, that's working, and this is how I do it, right? So I trail my stops, not because I say, oh, I got a great profit, I'm going to move it to break even just in case it comes back. Well, guess what? Those algos know that's what most traders do, and that's why it does come back, stops everybody out. The algos are the ones that get filled on everyone puking into their orders, and then it continues higher. Don't get algoed. Use this stuff to trail your stops. I do not trail my stops unless I see an opposing event. I will get out at areas as the market moves in my favor, aka as the market makes money available to me straight out of trading the zone. We'll get into that document, but this is why I got out. Let's see if we get some new lugs here. That would be desirable. All right, nothing yet there. So I already got out of two. We'll see. This is going to get filled. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right now, but it probably will. All right. So I'll keep an eye on that best I can. I already got out of two. So again, like I said, if it snaps back, I'm not going to be breaking stuff. All right. CL qualified as long right now, meaning it pushed an ATR. That's the blue line. This is the zone drawing tool. So just quickly, that's this guy. Click on this link. I put it in there. I don't know why it doesn't take you to the actual tool, but that's this right here. Why? No such product, or some error occurred. There it is. All right, so and you got to click this too. They claim they changed this. They didn't. Click on that. I don't know why. That's just confused. If I come over here, I'm just like, oh, that's free. What the heck? Click on that. So it's $59 a month. What? You use it for a day, you're going to see it's worth probably $590 a month, in my opinion. But anyway, my developer developed it, so he, that's why we charge for it, because it's his baby, and it's again, it's worth its weight in gold. All right. So anyway, this did confirm as a long. I don't have anything in crude that I'm gonna necessarily go long right here aggressively. This is close to a breakout of this little balance guy, but it's not yet. So off of that event, I'm not going to take anything aggressive like I took the NASDAQ aggressive on the failed balance breakdown, right? So if that breaks out here, if I get a new event, then I'm going to take the potentially a breaking away strategy. That's this. Breaking away. Break of a longer term balance area with high relative volume. So I would need to see 200% or more relative volume. We'll go over that. I'm not going to get into that right now until it starts to happen, but that's what I need for that trade. Other than that, I'm going to trade double sized longs off of this if this comes back, and crude is probably the number one market to come back to the zone. So, and you can see what's up here. Oh, is that liquid? Oh, I wonder where this market's going today. So there's nothing better than having a thesis, right? The thesis is long, and then looking at the chart and seeing where all the big money is, that once their fills. How do I know that? Because the longer it's in here, the more they want their fills. guess some nat gas stuff too. So if OPEC comes out and says we're cutting production, this thing's going to rip right through all this. Well, they're willing for that to happen, right? So that means they're willing. That means they want to get filled, meaning they're going to get filled because they're the big guys. Again, not Joe Biden. They will push the market into this stuff, right? So that's the game. It goes on all day, every day. Again, that's the game I used to play, so I know what they're doing, and it's very important to know what the big money's doing. You don't confuse that with there's someone in my trade room who. A lot of traders think like this, right? Is like, I would show you his quote, but I don't want to rip him too bad anymore. He's already gotten verbal lashings, but he comes in there and he's like, I think this, I got long today, and because the cartel of traders or scammers or whatever quote he used, they want to push the market down so they can get long and then now we're moving higher, blah blah blah. Yes, I'm 100% know these markets are manipulated, but that's not a tradable comment. That's not tradable. Oh, I think they're going to push it down and then go higher. Okay, well, where are you getting long? Where's your stop? Where's your target, right? So the point is, this is a different way of, I'm coming up with, oh yeah, they're going to push the orders in, but I have something visual telling me that, and I know the patterns. I know this market is going to hit this stuff. Again, it doesn't mean it's happening right now. Hold on, we got this stuff still flaring off. So I'll come back here. ATR retest confirm. I'm going to take double size longs. Hey, look what just got filled there. Don't forget. Sleeve of balls sent to me, please. And this is probably going straight here, too. So I would love, if I can get another opportunity, let's see. No. So the entry would be right at this liquidity. All right, so if this starts to fail back out of here, I'm going to get out of one more. This is one of my areas. Again, if it fails, right here in my Trading the Zone document, we'll do some rants on this. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. Ludwig levels, you saw me get out of a couple there. It did struggle there at first. I'm absolutely fine with that exit. Market profile composites, highs, lows, points of controls, VWAP, extreme standard deviations, spot gamma levels, struggle to get through heavy resting liquidity. So that would be this. If this struggles here, I'm going to get out of one. What I'm going to do here, I don't usually do this, but because you don't usually get a buy ice event right in front of it, I'm going to make it get through the buy ice event. So I'll stop out of that last one there. I'll give this a chance to hold especially because I see that up there, right? So guys, most of what we're doing is black and white, so entries and everything else. Sometimes you got to make decisions, right? Like I normally would be out right here of one, not all of them. I get out of one more. I'm saying, well, this came in. I'm just going to make it get through there. Yeah, I'm risking another 25 points. 25 points in this market is nothing. So I'm still long too. This would be struggling to get through resting liquidity, but I'm not going to get out right here. I'm going to force to get through this buy ice, so I'll be out at this price. You see it in the bottom lower left, 59. So it's still going to be, I'd still have one on, and it still would be a nice trade. Let me move that here. 9. All right, that is working. Other than that, I can take potential trades off of this bark and lick. I would not trade to that lick because your entry is right at the lick. That's obviously not a good risk reward. Let's see, there's more lick. There's more lick up here, so I would potentially put that lick on too if that happens. We'll keep an eye on that for those strategies. Let's take one more look, and I have not been really been seeing some cool things in Hero lately. Like he's been saying it forever. I get sidetracked and forget, but when you start to see the flow in here, I'll show you guys some examples here. But this is spot gamma. This is in the document too. You can get a free 2-week trial here. Where's it at? Here. Click on this. So let me show you because it does get a little confusing. Where are we at? This is all the stuff I use, guys. It doesn't mean you have to use all this. Yes, you don't need the drawing tool, but you need Bookmap. So this is for the basic software. Click on that. You get a discount to Bookmap. You need the MBL bundle if you want the SI indicator that powers the zones. Yes, you have to have that if you want to follow what I'm doing, if you want to trade like I'm trading. The rest of the stuff you don't have to have, but I'm using it, and if I'm using it, I think it's important. If you're listening to me, then you should think it's important too. So this is all the stuff I use. Everything on here has a discount to it, right? So we'll go over these other things like Apex and stuff like that as we get into the webinar more. But point is, I'm about to run out of breath here. Just chirping straight for the last half hour. So go here, go to pricing. I pick alpha because it's free. No matter which one you pick, it's free for 2 weeks, right? So pick the highest price one, you get the hero and his commentary, which is invaluable. We'll read that too. So this is where it gets a little confusing because you don't really. I would think the coupon code would be over here somewhere, right? And you're like looking. You're like, where the hell do I put the coupon code? It's over here. So go right here, click on that. They got to make this more clear. It's not clear, at least for people with my brain size. Put in Scott. I don't know if it has to be all caps. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there you go. So then you get $249 off, 2 weeks free, right? I thought there was a discount as well after that. I got to contact them because someone in my room was trying it. There was no discount. So that's how you do that. Very, very important information. This is the options flow that's coming in. So let's take a look at here. You can see this is why these markets are at their highs. The options flow. It's not the only reason. This is one player in the market, meaning one, not just one player, one entity, the options dealers. They have to hedge themselves with futures. So they get loaded up with people are buying calls, they're short calls, they got to come over here and buy futures. That's very important information to know because it's not like you're guessing like, oh, are they going to buy or are they going to sell? You know they have to buy. Options dealers are not positional traders. They have to hedge their books, right? All right, so anyway, I missed the stuff in the S with all my chirping. Put in questions again on YouTube. I'm going to combine these all. It looks like I may have missed a trade here, what I was talking about earlier. I never got over here. Adding up all these icebergs down here. Let's just do it quickly. So this is another beauty of the drawing tool. All right, let me turn this off real quick so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so you had, none of these were threshold by themselves. That's why I didn't automatically draw the zone. But you have to, it's still coming in, by the way. Here, well, first of all, let me go to where I do have a position on in the fastest moving market, NASDAQ. So here's sell ice, a little higher, and now I'm going to trail my stop to this guy, right? And I could potentially take shorts here based on what happened. I don't want to go short. It doesn't matter. The market doesn't care what I want, right? Because I just think this market's so bullish, and it's proven to be. We'd already talked about this thesis. But if it's so bullish, you shouldn't be getting bearish amounts, right? So if this turns around, I could potentially take, let's see if we can take a Izzy short here. Yes. So this is one of my important areas. Straight move into it with sell ice. If this fails, I'm going to get out of my remaining long position, and I will go short Izzy at 18.3825. That's the entry, short aggressive right there. And Izzy's are usually aggressive entries, meaning just like you saw me take the FBB, fail balance breakout, aggressive, and this is why I did it, right? We never got the retest. So that's why I got in first move out. I didn't wait for that, and if I did wait for that, it never happened. So that's why on certain strategies I get in right away. Same thing with this one. If this fails out of here, I am going to go short aggressively and not wait for a retest. 18.328.25. I'll get out of my remaining. Actually, I already have one working here at the bottom of the zone, right? That was that failed get through the liquidity. So you can see it's failing to get through that liquidity with sell ice. I'm still going to get out of that one down here. Remember, I just talked about this. So anyway, I'll get out of the remaining long here, and I'll go short Izzy if that comes down there. Let me get that in there. It's 31.75. It's working, and I'm going to put Izzy on. And I'm just going to trade normal size because I have a bullish view of the market. Doesn't mean I'm a day trader. I will go short if something real time is telling me to go short. Not something, the most important thing, that the SI volume events. All right, 31.50. So I got to, I'll try my best to move this. This is dynamic. You got to be moving it until you get filled. Once I get filled, I don't do any. I don't change anything. I use this. I keep the stop wherever the stop is. I don't change it even if the stop starts to contract because I've learned the hard way to do not to do that. But all right, those are working. I'll come back to that other ice here. Let's just combine this right now. So I would probably just combine all these. This is very likely the same house. And you can see they're just doing the same thing in here as they did in NASDAQ this morning. They just keep putting in buy ice. Eventually, the market is probably going to relent, right? It's like these guys look like they have unlimited size. So I'm just going to combine all these. I'm not going to split hairs with these. Oops, hold on here. I think I just moved that. I didn't want to move that. I didn't want to move the bottom of it. No, that looks right. Yeah, I don't think you got to put these in. These are smaller. So this was 689 here. Where'd that trigger? That triggered right here. So you can see the spike. More here. All right, so that's good. I like this zone. I'm going to make it all one big zone. Let's move this. This is a great thing about the drawing tool. One of the great things about it. Move that down. You guys ask questions on YouTube. I just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I'm just going to X out of that and just make this the one here. All right, so that's the first step. That's a big zone, but it's not that big right now because ATR is 10. So the zone is just what the ATR is. So it's not that big of a deal as far as what I'm risking, so on and so forth. So I do know, based on my risk, same with NASDAQ, all I can put on is 3 micros here. Hey, what do you got up here? Would that be liquidity? Huh, I wonder if this is going to get filled. I wonder. All right, so anyway, I can't put on barks and licks. This isn't the best risk-reward lick, but there's lick up here too. I'm talking about liquidity. Right, so those are in play. Obviously, Algo Guy is bullish, so that is my filter for barks and licks. Right, there you go. This was a sign too. So we come up with thesis on this stuff too. Sometimes, many times, if this thing pulls below, the price pulls below, and it tries to yank the blue, and it can't. Once it gets back above, then it rips. You can have a strategy for that alone, right? So there's just so many different strategies you can have, and just make sure you use the volume events to confirm your strategies. All right, let's see if we got an Izzy zone here. All right, so I never stopped on that other one, and this is exactly why I put it below this iceberg zone, right? I mean, I don't think I stopped on it. I didn't hear it. Hold on. Check. Nope, never filled on it. Came real close. I'm shocked. I usually get stopped out to the tick, but it was down here. And that's why I did it. So I avoided a stop out for now. This may now rip and go tag that. So I can still put on barks and licks off of this guy and potentially that guy, depending on what happens here. I don't know yet. I'm not doing anything until it shows me its hand, meaning it gets an ATR out of the area. Waiting for that. ES is not quite in an Izzy zone. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's probably spread out. 10 to 20 was the iceberg. Yeah, I mean, it's through here a little bit, but if it failed, I would take an Izzy short, but it doesn't look like anything's failing today. Guys, this is right in line with my thesis. Big deal. Like, I called it right today. A lot of days I don't call it right. Doesn't matter. I don't trade off what I feel is going to happen. I trade off what I'm seeing, but I will trade bigger. I know I already covered that, but that's the point. You're also at a very important spot gamma level here. Oh. So now we got some sell ice here. I want to keep an eye on this hero just to see if there's a flow. We get a flow. That could be the end of the move for at least temporarily. All right, there's nothing doing here. This is interesting. It's not really doing much today. Like he says, Brent from Spot Gamma says $1 billion notional is important. So this is just doing nothing right now. But you can see these. Well, I'll tell you what is doing something. The Mag 7. There you go. This is the same thing. You see all that? That's that. That's why we're ripping. They're the highest weighted stocks in the indices. All right, so you do have sell ice here, right at the spot gamma zone. This is an Izzy, so if this is an inflection zone, we just went over it. It's actually the next Izzy up, I think. Pretty close, so I would take it. If it fails, do you see me jumping in short right now? Absolutely not. I need to see that, and then I need to see that, and I would actually not get in right there. I just move it outside the zone. So if this fails, I'm going to put on an Izzy short. I'm completely bullish. Doesn't matter. That's what matters. Something's happening right now. If this fails, I will take the short. I'm not going to enter there at that price because it's in this prior event. I'm going to let it get out of here. I'll put it on at 53.10.75. I could put on 4 micros. You guys, if you're trading, if you got a smaller account or whatever, you use an Apex, there's no sense in my mind of just putting on one big one. It's all or nothing. If you put on 4 micros, then I can get out of one at a certain area and another one at a certain area, as the market makes money available to me, aka trading in the zone, right? So stop trading one big one, trade 10 micros. I know the commission's a little more, but I just don't think, you don't want to be all or nothing, right? You want to give the trade a chance to actually be a whopper with the remaining position. All right, 975 is I will take the Izzy short here if it comes back. All right, that's working. Now let's take a look and see if we have other areas, aka trading strategies. First of all, this is probably new lugs built. I'm still long a couple. There you go, new lugs there. This is the point of control too. There's another area that I get out of, but I'm already, again, I trailed it to that iceberg. Let's see here. Just want to see what's going on over here. So now we're talking, if this comes back on that last one line, I mean, I'm going to wait for this liquidity, see if we can, if it struggles with this liquidity, I'm going to get out of one more. And then I'm going to cancel the one that I had down here. Because now we're talking 70 points away, right? Letting it come back on me. So, because I know we're at the point of control of that market profile composite. There's heavy resting liquidity up here. If this starts to stall, I'm going to get out of one more. And I'll still have one. And then I could put on new positions based on this stuff. This is off. We're talking, the position I'm talking about is the one we put on way down here, right? So I'll get out on one more of those, and then if I get out of all of them, I could still trade off the new one. There's always another event right around the corner. All right, this is struggling. I'm just going to get out of here because I'm not going to be able to watch it closely, especially going over to, I got out of one more. That's the one I put below the iceberg zone. So I'm out of that. I still got one left. And I still will put on an Izzy short if this fails, by the way. So I'll be out of my remaining position. Down here, I gotta change this. 328 now. It was at 3150. Gotta expand it to 28, and then I'm gonna go short Izzy if this fails. All right. Again, I haven't had a chance to get to the room to answer your guys' questions. Take a quick peek right now. No questions. I guess I'm that clear with everything. Is there a new update for the zone drawer? What version do you have? Drew's Clues. I've been using your training past 2 weeks and have been killing it. Thank you, APaholic. Glad you're killing it. This is, if you understand what's going on here, and this just gives you, especially in this market environment, how many guys have blown out their accounts just throwing on trades, and all of a sudden the thing rips 100 points in their face, and they have no stop, they have no idea what they're doing, like just trading off a feel. This gives you structure. So I don't care if the ATR is 200, you trade the stuff the same way, right? Everything's laid out here for you with this drawing tool, and or the spreadsheet. You get the spreadsheet in, as part of my trade room. It's a little different version of this, but it's the same thing. So this is if you want to do it manually. You don't have to buy the drawing tool. You can do it manually. It's just a huge pain in the ass, especially in this market environment where these zones are popping up and the market, I mean, you blink your eye and it's 80 points away, right? So, but you get that. You get the Izzy zones. So back to this quickly, because there's a lot of new traders on here. So that if you want to get, if you can't get in the trade room, you can get a subscription to that stuff right here. So this gives you the spreadsheet. You get this free as part of my trade room, but if you can't get in there, you get the spreadsheet. $49 a month. Inflection zone, $24 a month. If you want to combine them, $73 a month. Again, you get this for free as part of my room, but some people they have day jobs and they can't get it. But if you need that stuff, or you do need it, in my opinion, if you're trading, but if you want that stuff, I should say, then you can get it over there too. Thanks, Scott. I'm 7 trades on NASDAQ today, 100% win rate, over 10,000 profits. That's pretty good. Some circles. Nice work. All right, so I'm working at, I don't know if I put this in. Did I put this in? Is he short here? NES? Yep, that's working. If this fails, I'm taking it. Is he short? And I'm well aware there's liquidity up here. I personally don't pass on trades if I see the liquidity because, like I said, this thing can drop 100 points before it comes back up here, right? There are some traders in my room that will not, like they see this, they're like, I'm not putting on shorts until this stuff gets filled. That's perfectly fine. That's what I want from you guys. I want you to take my stuff and make it your own, right? You can get in there and you can trade these exactly like I'm trading them. That's the point. This is everything in my head. There's way more coming. We just added this one. Hopefully we hear it. We'll maybe put this one on today too. This is the TikTok trade just came out. If you guys want to see some of these trades as well, you know, when I'm not on the webinars, I put them in here too. Go to my Twitter page, Scott Pulcini Trader 1. It's in that document too. But I put trades of the day as best as I can. I don't put them every day, but there's been some awesome ones. So anyway, there was a TikTok over here. Let's see, I think I posted that the other day. Took you a short on the newest TikTok. I changed the name because I don't want any copyright crap infringement from the actual TikTok. But that's when you, and this is one of the rare trades. It's the first one. It's the only one right now. There's going to be another one with the hero soon, where the second, when you hear a tick extreme, the second you hear it, if you hear a volume of them firing off, you jump in the fade. The second you hear it, you don't have to wait for the ATR. Every other strategy, I demand an ATR move out. This one, you just jump in. So this one was a whopper. You can see this, and then you can just, you use a normal stop, which is way more condensed, right? Because you're not going from here to here, you're just going from the zone to there. And then you just trade the areas like you normally do. I got out a half at the yellow lug, and then I trail my stop into the close on a opposing volume event. But that's the newest strategy. Follow my Twitter, and then you can see the post as much as I can. You know, a lot of days, like, I'm just mentally beat, and then I got to spend another 20 minutes, half hour, doing that stuff. But it's good. You should all be doing that. There's a guy in my room doing runner. He does it nonstop, and I said it yesterday. He was kind of blushing. I didn't know he was in the room. I thought he was on vacation. I said, that guy, he's going to make it as a trader because he puts in the work, and he's. I don't think he's close to his old. I mean, he's not exactly my age, but I met him. I met him a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked to see he was my age. Meaning, the amount of work this guy puts in. Like, I do one screenshot and I need to take a nap. Right? He puts in. I'll just give you guys an example, and this is what I tell my room they should be doing. I'm not going to play the video I played yesterday of the baseball dude. It's not for kids' ears. I'm not going to do it on public video. But guys were asking me to get this member trades, right? This is the video. Go ahead and Google it. I'm not going to play it. It's not for kids. But this is about these baseball players that were not putting in the effort against, the top team. This is the same thing. If you guys aren't doing this stuff, look at this. Look at this guy. It's like he's been putting in the book. He won the Bookmap blue ribbon thing, that the contest they have for doing it. Like, this, guys, this is what you need to do. This is what ingrains this stuff in your head. You do enough of these, especially when things start going bad, like if you have a drawdown and it feels like nothing's ever going to work again. All you do is you come back up to your book of trades or come to this room and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that winner. Oh yeah, I remember that winner. That one. And you're like, okay, yeah, this just isn't working today, but I know this stuff works, right? Anyway, look at the commitment this guy puts in. He's 100% going to make it. 100%. That's what everybody should be doing. How many others see? Finally Curious came in here. No one else is putting anything. It's like, this is my trading room. So you can imagine what regular traders are doing. They're just sitting there by themselves. Nothing. So, guys, I say it every day, you're going against the brightest minds on the planet. If you think you can just wing it, sit down and just start clicking and make money consistently, you're sadly mistaken. Just like if you think you can step up in the batter's box in a Major League Baseball game and get a base hit. It's not going to happen, right? Or we'll say home run. You could just put the bat on and maybe get a hit. If you get into a Major League Baseball game right now without practicing, you think you're going to hit a home run? Zero chance. Same with this. If you think you're going to just sit in here and click and not have rules and not study your trades and you're going to make it, you're sadly mistaken. So that's what that rant was about. All right. I've done a lot of talking today. I had 2 cups of coffee. That's one of the reasons I'm not usually a coffee drinker. All right, still waiting for a retest confirm on this guy in crude. Probably 100%. It comes back to the zone because that's all it ever does in crude. And then I'm going to take Barks and Licks to that. And I'm going to take them double size because I have a long bias. I never got over to gold here. Let's see if I missed anything. I'm sure I did. All right, so nothing to do here. So this is exactly why I wait for the ATR, the retest, the confirm. Did that do that? It did the ATR, it did the retest. Did I just jump in along here? No. Would I have lost? Yeah. That's why I wait for that pattern for certain strategies. So I missed nothing here, and now this is not Not even tradable for me because it touched the ATR above and it touched the ATR below. No trade for me there. Wait for a new event. And there's one right around the corner. Trust me. All right, so I still have these markets have, halted right now. Not the real halt, but they've just stopped trading. I still got Izzy shorts working in here. I put it below this zone. And I got Izzy short working here. I'll get out of my remaining long and I'll short this puppy. That's very low. Is that one of you guys call me to find out my address and send me the bag of balls for that liquidity tag? It better be. I better have about, let's see how many people are on this webinar on YouTube. I'll tell you how many bags of balls or sleeves of balls I should be getting here. Hold on. 41 people, so I should have 41 sleeves of balls heading to my house. Just kidding. All right, so nothing's going on there. Let's see what we missed today in these other markets. So guys, this is why you want to be watching other markets, because when stuff stops, you don't have to, there's opportunity everywhere and it's all the same stuff. We're looking at volume events, we're looking at trap traders, and we're taking advantage of traders, the areas, aka traders, being right and wrong. This was wheat. This was from overnight. I had it running overnight, and it'll draw the zone, keep the zone in there, so nothing's going on in wheat. Let's see here. What was this soybean? This was no go for me either. It's just a chop fest. It touched the ATR above. Touched the ATR below. Nothing to do there. You could have maybe shorted right off the bat there. I just didn't, and you had a step rose. I'm sorry, a double whammy here that broke. That's usually very bearish, and you can see it came back and tested that area and failed. Surprise, surprise. But nothing to do there. I missed whatever was up here. I'm not going to get into it right now. Right, we got the rare. I've been trading. My room members been trading this. They've been saying they've been doing great on it. So it's YM. Again, doesn't matter what market, as long as you know the thresholds, and you don't even need to know the thresholds with the zone drawer. It knows the thresholds and it draws it. Threshold for YM, tradable event, aka that's what threshold means, is 100. Here's 100 stops right now. So let's see where we're at. Trace some old YM. So you can see that, guys, it's the same patterns. Look what this did, right? So this is telling me it still remained bullish for now. Balance. Looks just like the other markets. Balance. Broke down, held it, gapped up, right through the high volume node. I will trade any longs double size here. And you can, on this event right here, I can trade, this is another trading strategy. One, well, yeah, it's I was thinking this was a breaking bad. It kind of is, but not really. We'll get into those, but this is another failed. We already caught the one in NASDAQ today, right? Failed, balance, breakdown, FBB, volume event above the high volume node. I take that trade aggressively. So if this stop run turns out to be a stop and hold, and that's one of my 6 distinct setups that are in my trading course. Let me show you that. I know I do this stuff every time, but again, these are more basic webinars. One second here. Why is this mouse not working for me? Hold on, guys. So that's this guy. So this is the course where I explain how I trade these events. You can learn the stuff on the fly in my room, but I'm trading live and I can't break it down to basics. These are the basics. So if you want to hit the ground running, get the course, learn all the methods and everything I talk about, and then you can get in my trade room and trade live. Watch me trade live and trade live yourself. And you're not sitting there wondering, well, what the hell? What does that mean? What's an ATR mean? How is he drawing that zone? It's all in here, right? From the thresholds to the settings, setting it up, sweeps indicator, drawing the zones. You don't even need to do that anymore, but you still want to know how to do that. That's what I was going to show you in the ES from earlier. And then here are the setups. Dumb and Dumber, Stop and Hold, Titanic. These are the 6 distinct setups I look for, right? So if this stop run and Dow holds, it would be a stop and hold. What is a stop and hold? Well, usually these stop runs are the retail trader puking. It's not usually initiative buying. There are times where you will get a stop run and it holds and the big money comes behind it and it continues to push it. That may be this. I don't know yet. This could be a dumb and dumber as well, right? What are we waiting for? We're waiting for an ATR to let us know. That's the best way that I've figured out to understand this. So we just talked about the FBB trade, the failed balance breakdown. You had a balance, broke down, tried to break down, got back through the high volume node. I will enter that trade, that strategy at 39,535. I can put on 7 MYM. If you're trading normal size product, that means you can put on 0.7 of a contract. That's not possible, so trade micros, and then you can get out too of partial. You don't have to be all or nothing. We already covered that. Let me get this set up. This is FBB. See if I can put it on the right strategy this time. I put that other one on the wrong one earlier. This mouse is upsetting me today. It's not working very well. Scott, do you have support site? My zones are not loading. You just got to contact Bookmap support, and they should answer questions. If not, let me know. I mean, I'm not going to send all the general public questions. That's another perk of being in my room, and I think you used to be in my room actually. You know, if you're in my room, you can contact the developer directly if you have issues. If you're not, you know, you gotta go through the Bookmap. I'm not going to put 3,000 people on the Yuan answering questions all day. He doesn't even do this full time. Hold on, what am I looking for here? What was I doing? Oh, I want to see the strategy number. FBB is 87. All right, so again, I will go long FBB. That's aggressive. I'm not waiting for a retest. I'm getting in the first move out of here. 39,535. And I'm going to trade double size because of the bullish thesis. 39,535. So I'm going to put on 14 instead of 7. If this fails, let's see what else we got on the short side, potentially. Nothing in the lugs, no lug trade. We do have a potential pick. Actually, I'm going to merge all 3 of these, so this is how I come up with these composite. That's these light blue zones, or whatever color that is. So you had single day value area. Value areas where 70% of the trade occurred, right? Point of controls where the most trade occurred. That's the headline. Next day, value area. Did not overlap that day. I would not merge those. Third day, overlap both of them. Make this one big composite. Value area. Very, very powerful areas in their own right. Do I trade them by themselves? No, I still need a volume event. Let's see where we're at here. So that was telling you something too. That broke out of that puppy today. And we're at a prior one now. So that's how I do that. Very important, especially if that comes back. You want to watch, and that's another one from before too. So this is going to be a very good potential long area if it did pull back to this. If it gets back inside, that's telling you something too. If markets get back inside composites, you expect the other side, right? So those are just thesis ideas. It doesn't mean I just jump in trades, right? But that's a thesis. Anyway, we're at this one. If this one fails, I'm going to take a pick short. So I have FBB long working. If this fails, I'm going to take a pick short out of here as a bearish event. 39,405. Let me put that puppy in. And that I'll trade normal size. I'm not going to trade double size because I have a bullish view. So you see, I have a bullish view, and I'll put on shorts. I have 3 shorts working now. I have the YM short pick. I have the ES Izzy short working, and the NQ short Izzy working. And you've heard me say the entire webinar I'm bullish based on the structure stuff. Guys, things change all the time, right? It's if-then scenarios. Like, yeah, right now it's bullish. But guess what? If this comes back and does that, am I going to be bullish? Hell no. Right now I am, but I'm letting the real-time volume events tell me what to do. So if this fills, great, I'm bullish. It's not going to be comfortable, but the market doesn't care if I'm comfortable. The market cares about what's going on in real time. So I'll put on the shorts. All I do with the thesis, I said it 10 times already this webinar, it just allows me to trade bigger in that direction. That's all it does. I do not, you could, some traders will not, if they have a thesis, about to get filled on these. Actually, it's got to get out of this zone, right? I have it at 975. This is a validated short now, by the way. I just am not getting it right here because this is prior event. Some traders won't trade against their thesis, and they just trade that one direction. Perfectly fine. You do whatever you guys want to do. I don't trade that way. I'm not saying it's wrong, right? But I trade both ways. I'm a day trader, right? I'm trying to take advantage, especially with this information. I am not going to pass up on trades when I know how powerful this stuff is, right? All right, so I should have been filled on that. Did I not get filled on that? Hold on. All right, there's the fill right there. Oh no, so I needed to move this up. The volatility contracted, that's what I was saying. 32 quarters where I was supposed to be in here. Hold on, now I think I'm short everything. So remember, I got out. I'm getting out of my remaining FBB. All right, so out of everything, now I'm short. I had that last long, one long on. Out of that, by the way, I never tagged that liquidity. I ran it away. That's why I don't always have to wait for the exact tag. Short Izzy, that's this zone here. Volume event, starting to fail. I'm in, and that's aggressive Izzy. These are the best Izzies. They have straight moves into these inflection zones. Short that Izzy. I'm short this Izzy. It wasn't quite there, but it was close enough. Right? These are zones. They're not exact prices. It was right there. Not a good color for that chart. Hold on, right there. Took that guy, and I think I just filled. I did, and I just filled on the pick. YM. So short 3 markets, and I'm bullish. I'm bullish as a thesis as of right now, right? So first of all, I already know this is probably gonna be a torture treatment, right? Because of the bullish, it's probably gonna, even if it does give it up, it's probably gonna torture me for a while. Fine, you can now go away. You know where my stop? Well, my stop was, I shorted off of this event, right? This is the beauty of these things, of these SI volume events. Short was up here, right? What just happened? Stop run. Now where's my stop? I can bring it all the way down here. I'm going to save myself 60 points of risk because I always default to the most recent event. Here's a stop run. If this turns into be a dumber, meaning the dumb money puke and it rejects, then I'm going to stop out at 18,415 instead of 18,463.75, right? Not because I just want to reduce my risk out of the clouds, out of nowhere, because I don't feel comfortable. It's because of something that happened in the market. So that goes in right now. What did I say? 415, 18,415. So that's working. And I could potentially, depending on how you see what happened here, little Mr. Algo guy cross. If the relative volume has spiked, I can put on a heavy L. That's playing off of that cross. We talked about it earlier. Let's take a look and see what is going on here. Looking at the relative volume here. Get that guy off there. No, relative volume is not. So one of the requirements of the heavy L, that's this guy. Algo guy cross with heavy relative volume. Take any trade during or just after an algo guy cross with heavy relative volume, 200% or more. I'm going to have I keep saying it, but the course will be done here shortly of every one of these trading strategies. Because, I mean, I go over them every day, but I even had, like, a member the other day in my room, I don't understand the trading strategies. And then he's never on the webinars. It's like, I talk about them on the webinars all day long, but some people need the visual and practice, so there will be a course out soon for that. Anyway, that's not a trade anyway right now off of this. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got here. Now we got some iceberg as well. We got some sell ice here in NQ2. We'll look at that. It's pretty much in the same area. You are getting a rare. This is the unicorn. Potentially, let's see. Yeah, this is the rare step bros. Seventh wonder of the world, sixth wonder of the world, right there. The sixth wonder of the world. It's like a unicorn. You don't see it very often. When you do, watch out. So this I talk about this in the course. This inherently is bearish, right? If it turns out to be a bullish event, that's telling you something's up, and watch the hell out the other way. But this is what does that mean? I'm not just jumping in a trade here. I'm just telling you, when you see sell stops with sell ice, that's inherently a bearish event. So I want to make this one zone too. Let me scroll this puppy down here. Come on. There you go. All right, and now I could take new trades off of this too. Bark and lick, algo guys bearish. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if there's liquidity down here. There is right here, but I wouldn't count it. I wouldn't count that because you wouldn't even be entering here. I'm talking about here. Let's see. Nothing crazy. So I don't really see a lick trade there. I mean, you could trade to this stuff. Well, anything looks like lick when you do that. So this is a great example too, right? This did not get filled. This liquidity, this band did that you guys all owe me the sleeve of balls on. This one did not. This is a perfect example. Right? It looked like it was going to fill. I said it's probably going to fill. Very, very likely it's going to fill. It doesn't mean it was going to fill right then. Nope. This thing could drop 300 points, and then by the end of the day, come back and fill it. This will get filled. I can promise you. Very, very likely anyway. Doesn't mean it happens right there. That's why I don't pass up on shorts. So I was talking earlier how some traders won't take the short if they see that liquidity there. That's why I will still take the short. I know the propensity for this to get filled, but it doesn't mean it's happening right then. This could do that. So I'm short. Stop is trail. If it rips back, so be it. I'm trading my strategies. I know this is the best edge you can ever have. I'm trading in probabilities. I just keep putting the trade on. As long as you don't blow out for the day, you just keep putting the trade on. And what's blow out for the day means the most you should be risking on your trades, outside of Apex, we haven't got an Apex yet, is about 2% of your trading account. Most you should lose in a day is 6%. Quickly, this is Apex. This is the trader funding that I use, guys. You don't know what a gift it is to have this stuff. Especially when I got I left my trading firm in 2007. I couldn't make money anymore. I made $15 million in 3 years and then couldn't make a dollar. Right, just nosedive. Couldn't make a dollar. I didn't lose that much back with them. I lost probably $1 million back. I know that's a lot, but it's not a lot when you made $15 million for them. But anyway. Then I was on my own. When you start trading on your own, it's a whole different ballgame. When you are all of a sudden worrying, hey, if I lose $100,000 today, that's coming out of my bank account and then I can't feed my family, right? Whole different story. Do you know what a gift it is to have something like this? This is like your own personal trading firm, right? So they back you if you hit the requirements. That's all this stuff. Now we get to watch this sweet scrolling account thingy here. So you go in here, any sale, right now it's 80% off. Any sale they have, use Pulcini 50. If it's 90%, 80%, 70%, doesn't matter. Use that code, you get the discount. The whole goal of this, again, this scrolling nonsense, you need to make the profit goal before you lose, as this runs away from me, the trailing threshold. Trailing is the key word. So you will have accounts, and I've done it about 50 times, where here's profit goal. Oh, there's that awesome scroll. I love that scroll. So you got the profit goal. Say you get up 4,000. You're not quite at the profit goal, and you pull back 2,750. You're still at $1,500 roughly. You blow out of the account. So you can still be profitable, and I've done it literally 50 times where I'm still profitable on the accounts, and you just have a normal drawdown and you blow out. That's the one caveat. Other than that, guys, there is nothing better if you are not funded, you don't have proper funding, you don't have a huge account, and I would say literally you need at least a $50,000 account to try to do this for a living on your own. And then that's aside from your living expenses. I'm not saying if you have $50,000 in your name, you should be trading it. I'm saying you have $50,000 disposable income. That is the minimum to try to do this for a living. If you don't have that, you have this here. I mean, unless you have contact with a trading firm, right? This is like your own trading firm. You qualify, you get paid. And I put in some more stuff in Twitter here. Put these in the other day. So traders in my trade room are using it. One guy's waiting to get paid, waiting to hear on that. I've been paid multiple times by him. They pay. Let's see, this was KFC, I call him. Qualify for payout today. I'll keep you informed. You can see his P&L. Just go to my Twitter page. There you go. Nice work there. And he said he made $1,500 yesterday too. Nice work. Another guy qualified right here. I have a funded account. Don't post much, but I want that I don't like, CN, by the way. You need to be more active. Don't post much, but wanted to say I finally passed the Apex eval. We'll have a funded account tomorrow. Thank you, Scott Pulcini, for your guidance. Everything you preach about in trading has helped so much. There you go, guys. There's just two. I posted this 2 days ago, right? So anyway, that's the one I use. I know they're a dime a dozen today, nowadays. Guys, they have thousands and thousands of traders. So, and I keep seeing on Twitter, oh, they're a scam. They're not a scam. I've been using for 2.5 years, right? Trust me, the minute if something happens with this company, I will be the first to tell you guys. It'll be all over. First of all, it'll be all over the internet. I will be the first to tell you on Twitter, hey, these guys are not paying my traders. Hey, I didn't get paid. Watch out, right? I'm not a part of this company, so I don't have any say in what they're doing. But I am very transparent in everything I do, with everything. I don't claim to be a multi-million-dollar trader anymore. I don't claim, I tell you like it is. If they, for some reason, don't do something they should do, and I'm not going to talk about one disgruntled trader that has a payout coming that didn't get paid 8 hours later that starts bitching on the internet. I'm talking about if shit hits the fan, pardon my language, and they do not do what they're saying, I'm going to be the first to tell you guys, all right? So this is the one I put my name on. If they go down, then I got to eat it, right? But 2.5 years I've been using them, so that's what I have all my strategies tied to. You guys all know the story. I trade each one of these because I used to trade my real money accounts, and I didn't have these set up where I was just trading these, off the top of my head. I knew what these trading strategies were, but my room didn't, or people watching these webinars didn't. I finally broke them down, and I assigned Apex accounts to them for each thing, and each one of these will be funded eventually. Just I'm trading them normally, so it's just as your P&L as a trader is always going to look like this. My damn mouse will work. It's like this, and then you'll have a big day, and then you'll have drawdown. You never want your drawdown to look like that. That's why you cut yourself off at 6%. But your P&L will look like a chart, right? So it takes time to build these things out. But every one of them, because I know I have the edge on every one of them. What's the edge? This. So that's my Apex rant. You do not know what to get. I would have done anything back in 2013 when I had to say uncle and get out of the business and go start kissing doctors' asses in their offices, selling genetic testing, right? Turning into salesman because I had to get out of the business. I would have done anything to have something like that back then. There was one company, I'm not going to name them, but it was nonsense. They were not interested in funding. They were, oh yeah, pass this combine, and then, oh, now you got to do the live combine. Oh, you passed that one? Okay, now you got to do the secret squirrel one. They have now changed their ways. I was talking about this yesterday on my webinar because they've had to, because now they have competition. Now they actually have to really want to fund traders, right? But back then, it was a big joke. So I didn't have anything like you guys have today. So take advantage of it. If your accounts are small or just to practice, there's $30 or $40 for even the 250,000. It's $40. If you put on a trade and I tell you you're going to lose $40, what would you say? You'd say, yeah, so get one of those. You can fire on them. You can qualify in a day. Get one of them. If you lose $40, Rihanna, who cares? If you're trading your own account, you're going up, even with a micro, you're going up and down $40 on a trade. It's like, it's a no-brainer. And then if you're practicing what we're doing in here, right, until you understand it. And then if you do well, you're all of a sudden now you're funded anyway. You're like, okay, hey, well, I was just practicing. Now I got a funded account. Let's go, right? So that's my recommendation. You guys do not know what a gift it is to have that stuff. We didn't know. And by the way, interesting. So this is a flow. This is not bearish. This is bullish. And I'm probably going to stop out of these. So I don't know this is coming, right? All I can trade is what's in front of me. But I'm going to go over why that's bullish. But I got to put my stops in there. I never put my stop in. So I got short the Izzy, NQ, ES. Unfortunately for me, this is a bullish flow event. I'll go over it in a second. If you want to incorporate, once you understand this stuff with Spot Gamma, get the trial, like I said, or get the subscription, you can say, oh, crap, there's a flow. I don't need to wait to get stopped out fully. There's a very good likelihood this gets stopped out. I don't know that's coming. How do I know? If I knew if that was coming, trust me, I'd just be sitting on my desert island with Billy Ray Valentine putting in trades, knowing what's going to happen. I didn't know that was going to happen. It happened. If you want to get out right now, if you got short with me, get out right now. I'm still going to follow my rules, but this is very important. What does this mean? So I was on his webinar the other day. He does live webinars all the time. I said, well, how do you know if the flow is bullish or bearish? Because a lot of times it's just like, in the middle of nowhere, and I would think it would be colored. And he said the best way to determine it is the slope of the move. If it's sloping down and you see a flow, once it stabilizes, it's bullish. I mean, it's already bullish if it's a fade trade. It's a fade type of move, right? So if the options stuff is coming, this is what this color is, whatever that color is, green or gray. If it's sloping down and you get a flow, that is a fade. And he's like, it's not red light, green light. It doesn't mean you just turn around. This one was. You could have just jumped in along here, but sometimes it'll see a flow and it'll keep going like this. I showed my room this the other day. On the last 2 days, this has happened when we saw flows in spot gamma. And I gotta get off here soon too, guys. So get off the webinar. Let's see. So this was Tuesday. Come on. Or what? No, yeah, Tuesday. You can see here. Some of these were green light, like you just jump in, but some of them didn't. So this one came in, kind of stabilized, market sold off. That's that white line. These are big moves too. These are like 20, 30 point moves on the white line, right? And here we go with the buying. So I'm probably going to stop out of these trades. I didn't know the flow was coming in. It's fine. My stops are in, probabilities, stop out, on the next trade. Anyway, here was a flow. It kept going up, but once it finally stabilized, nothing really happened on that one, right? That's what I mean. So, but I mean, it's not just a red light, green light, but another one came in. Once it stabilized, there you go, boom, crushed, right? The point is you kept seeing flow. Then it finally gave up into the close and it dropped like 90 points into the close, right? This move here. So very important information. It's just options dealers that are hedging. This is showing there's some major hedging going on, and here we go. Market just ripped with it. So I'm not doing anything with this yet. If I keep seeing this, guys, you got to be able to adapt in your trading, right? If I keep seeing this and every time I see it, the market does that, well, I absolutely don't have to let it come back to my stop point, right? I'm not going to this is an example of, this isn't new for me, but using this in my trading, like to the second, I just don't do that yet. But if I keep getting my ass handed to me, when this happens, I'm not going to wait for the full stop out. I'll just say, okay, here's a flow. All right, that's turning up. I'm just going to hop out of this trade for now, right? I don't do that yet. My stops are in. Because what would happen? What happens if flow comes in the other way? How do I know that's not going to happen? I don't. So I'm going to keep my stops where they're at. I'm just telling you, this is very likely going to rip now because of what happened here. Do you see any other flows today? No. That's very important. It's probably going to do that. Great. And I was already bullish anyway. Overall, it's fine. Stop out on to the next trade. Trading in probabilities. Let's end the webinar with a quick little rant. For those of you saying, "Oh, this stuff doesn't work. This is losing trade." Well, we took like 3 winners, and we caught the Nasdaq long. It wasn't 3 winners. It's not Nasdaq long, pretty much, but you get my point. This is the main point here, the rant. That's the exercise. Sorry. Where are we at? Well, this is the 5 truths. Anything can happen. You don't need to know, or do you know, kind of like the flow thing I just showed you, what is going to happen next in order to make money. There is a, see, this is all screwed up here. Oops, sorry. See if this will just back up out. No. This is supposed to say there is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. Random distribution. This would be the distribution if I stop out of those trades. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. Until you can learn to think that way, you are not going to make it as a trader. I know that the biggest issue for traders is knowing if they have an edge. I am telling you, if you're going to listen and think my word is worth anything from doing this for 25 years and trading millions and millions and millions of contracts, if you want to take my word for it, this is the best edge you are ever going to have in futures trading. So I don't need to worry if I have the edge. That's what most traders have to worry about. Like they see something working for 3 days and they start to trade it and then it doesn't work anymore. I've been doing this for 7 years. It's the best edge you can ever have in my opinion. So I don't need to worry about that. All I need to worry about is following my rules and not doing dumb shit. Pardon my language. There you go. And on that rant, I'm still short. I didn't stop out. This can turn back around. I don't know what's going to happen next. I do know my rules. My stop out for this is there. I didn't even put it in. I got to get it in here. And my stop out for this guy, and we got a new event here. I could actually short that too. I don't have time to get into that. We're past the time. Anyway, I'm short. Actually, I'm short that event. My stop actually is right here for that. So this is maybe a small loser if it pops up here. It may not. It may. If it does, great. I can turn around and go short again off of this guy. This would be another Izzy, a brand new event in an inflection zone. Here we go. So I'll stop out of that, and then I'll put a new one on. This is a kind of different situation. You could just say, well, why would I just wait? Why would I wait and put another one on? I'm already short. I'm just going to move the stop back up and not stop out right there. I'm not going to do that. That's not how I trade it. If I stop out, which I'm about to any second here, I'll wait for this. There's a stop out. You just heard it. I'll short that. Other than that, longs are potentially back on the table. Let's see if the algo guy's pulling. And I'm already bullish. And now the hero got the flow. We get across here. There we go. Algo guy's bullish. Now I'll turn around. I just stopped out of my short. I saved myself 60 points of risk by trailing to this event. And what do we say? This is inherently bearish. If this doesn't turn bearish, that's telling you. So I've got like 15 things that are telling me this thing's going to just rip off the page now. Right? And then we got this too. So I'll take barks and licks off of this guy, double size, longs. And then I still got my stop working in here, and I got my stop working in, I got to put it in 36 quarter, and I was short YM too. Sucks for me. I didn't do anything wrong here. I followed my rules. If I stop out on the next trade. There you go. My stop's up here. All right, guys. So you saw both worlds today, right? Caught some awesome longs right off the get go. Turned around, got short, gave it a shot. One of them didn't work. I was able to trail my stop. The other ones might not work. Big deal. On to the next trade. This is trading. If you're consistent with what you're doing, you will make money. If you have an edge, any edge, this is the best edge, in my opinion. All right, quickly, see if you guys got any questions. I got hop off. I get yelled at if I go over. No. All right. There you go, guys. Do it every day in my trade room. Exactly what you're seeing here. Head on over. Especially in this market environment, it's going to just hopefully stay like this for forever, at least to the end of the year. All right. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next Thursday.